Hello everyone, I'm Lynette and this is Grammy Crochet. This will be Charm Chatter, I believe, number 192, and today is Sunday in April. Don't know the date. Thanks for joining me in the dining room today. Sorry we're not in the yarn room, but we just got back from the camper shortly ago, cleaned up, put everything away, and my honey is taking a nap. So since Roy is napping, I thought I would film in the dining room. So I want to show you what I made at the campground. And I will link Pamela's Adoring Crochet's YouTube channel, which I know she has links to her Etsy shop, if you're still allowed to do that. I'm not sure what those rules are anymore. But she wanted me to test this pattern for, isn't it adorable? It's Shirley's. The pattern is Shirley's outfit. Shirley's spring outfit, I think is what it's called. So look at the cutest little hat, and then a poncho, and a skirt. Look at that ruffle, and a top. So the pattern was wonderful. I totally love it. And it has boots. I ran out of yarn at the camper, and I have not made the boots yet. And I'm going to make the boots she makes the boots in coordinating colors. I'm going to make the boots because I really and truly don't have any more yarn left. And I talked about trying these bonbons for doll clothes. So I'm going to try to make the boots out of this brown down here and trim them in this color. So then they can go with multiple outfits. That's the plan. I don't know. I could do the purples, like pinky purple colors. No, they don't go. I'm going to just go with the brown because then they'll go with, you wear brown boots with a lot of colors, right? So I love the pattern. I am learning, this is the couple of patterns that I've done for her now. This is the, I crochet tighter than she does. I've come to that conclusion, and I need to use a bigger hook. So I made the hat per the directions with a 4mm hook. And it's a little bit small for the doll, but not, it doesn't want to stay on as tightly as I would like it to because it's like small, but it's stretching. I've had it on her for a while now. Love this. Oh my God, so cute, right? The little rose, I'm going to make some of these. I'm going to steal her pattern, and I'm going to put some of those out of this pattern on my wreath because I totally love how that looked, and it just worked up beautifully, and the pattern was fabulous, easy breezy. Poncho, great. I made mine different as far as colorway because I was out of the pink. I thought the yarn would go further than what it did, and I used the hook that she called for, or set it on the poncho. I'm going to take this off so that I can get the poncho off, and you can see the top because it is also so cute. Pamela pays such great attention to all the little details and makes all the outfits coordinate so nicely. Hers was done in orange, pink, and white, which was beautiful. But I chose these colors. And so the purple top is fabulous. It's got the little scalloped edge on it. Now this top for me is a little bit tight. I did make it in the 4mm hook or 3 or whatever. I can't remember what hook she said to use. And I did make it in that hook, and I could barely get it on the doll because I'm a crochet tighter. So I made it in a larger hook, and then it fits the doll. But then when I went to the skirt, I went a size even larger because I can get this on and off the doll without any trouble. But my granddaughter is 7 and she might struggle with it. So I went to a bigger hook with this, and no problem. It goes on, it stays on. It's not too big to not stay on. But Avery will have no trouble putting it on and off her doll. She won't need to bother her mom. I think my daughter-in-law will have to help Avery get this on. And this yarn is very stretchy. It has a lot of stretch to it. It is called, it's a vintage Sayel Orlan Say Yell yarn. And it is a yarn that I used in my Mile a Minute. It was in the April Mile a Minute. So I just used what was left of that. And out of that skein, this is what I have left. I did 2 Mile a Minutes and the purple in this doll clothes. And this is what I have left of that yarn. And this is what I have left in the white yarn. And the white yarn, I think, was also part of my Mile a Minutes. So 2 Mile a Minutes and the white parts of this costume or doll outfit. And the pink yarn was the yarn that I used to go with the white yarn in the Mile a Minute, Mad Mile a Minute by Jada and Stitches. And I actually ran out, but you can't tell because how cute this ruffle is. Isn't this just the most cutest thing? I totally love it. But you like do this bottom ruffle, the skirt should all be one color, but somewhere in here I ran out of the pink and I doubled up on the purple where the pink ended, but because of all these cute ruffles you couldn't tell anyway, so nobody will know. Nobody would know if I didn't tell you. The only thing I have not done, and I don't know if I will do, is put the button on the back. Like I said, it is a little tight on her. Again, this yarn particularly is very stretchable. I don't know if I'm going to put the button on. I don't think I put the button. I put the button on the last one, and Avery has trouble with it. Tiny buttons, and so I think I'll just leave the button off for now. And in the future, if she ever wants the button, I'll put it on. But the doll's hair covers, and I don't think Avery will care. I think she'll actually appreciate no button on the top. If the doll was going to be just for display, then sure. But because she's actually going to play with it and she's going to put the clothes on it, and this top is tight, I'm not going to put the button on. I'm going to leave the button off, I think. But I'll ask her, and if she says, yeah, put the button on, I'll bring a button with me when I give it to her, or give it to her here and just sew a button on real fast. I do have some buttons. So that's the doll. Isn't I just love the ruffle. And like I said, I didn't quite do the colors in the order necessarily. I went by how much yarn I had, what I thought would fit the best. And the pattern is wonderful. I'm pretty sure it's up in our Etsy shop already. So if you are into doll clothes for your grandkids, for yourself, for anybody, great pattern. And easy to make. Other than, I know now when I am making Pamela's patterns, for anything that's going to be tight like this, I'm going to go up a couple of sizes. I needed to, just to get this on the doll, the one size, but I'm going to go up, I think, an extra, like I did on the skirt, to make it easier for Avery to put it on. And if it's a little baggy, we can add a button. If it's tight, though, I don't want her to have to fight and stretch with it, or she's 7. She's capable of dressing her doll if the dressing, if the dress clothes fit her good enough. She knows how the clothes go on, or she's learning how the clothes go on, so I want her to be successful with the process, and not have to bug people to help her get her dolls dressed. So, there's nothing wrong with the pattern. That's just little tiny kid and tight crochet. So I finished that ball of yarn, and I finished the white, which was, I love this cotton in the, I don't know, I'll find it, crushed raspberry color. This you can't get anymore, so you really don't care. And then the pink was Mainstay from Walmart's brand, and I believe it was just called Pink. One ball. Here is the little, I don't even see it. There it is. Yep, called Pink. So I'm going to add these to my collection of completely used up yarn for this year. I'm saving it in this big cheese ball. In this big, huge cheese ball bin. I've been keeping all of my This is how many completely used up. I mean, I'm considering this completely used up. I probably will throw those in my willow bag square, because this could maybe do the very center of the willow square, and this could do the next round. So I'm going to do that. I did over the weekend work on adding a couple of rows to my beach cover up traveling hook shawl. I crocheted on that in the car. Excuse me. And I did, because I ran out of yarn and couldn't make the boots. And I only wanted to work on the shawl in the car because when I was sitting, when I could sit and read, I wanted to work on my next, I'm sure it's got a title here. It's called the Popcorn Garden Blanket. I wanted to work on that, and as I said, I wanted to give that to the I'm going to hold on to it for the, I think it's called Snowball Express, Solar Express, Pony Express. No, it's not. And it's not Polar Express either, because that's the show. I believe it's Snowball Express, where they're doing the blankets that they're giving away to the fallen soldiers. And again, I still don't know if we're doing that this year. My contact hasn't been able to find out yet either. I'm thinking maybe they're not, but I'm still going to make the blanket for that purpose and just save it until they do it again, because I think it's such a wonderful, wonderful idea. So my thought process was that I was going to start with this, which is a Caron Cakes. And then I found out that they want 100% cotton, 100% acrylic, no wool. And this contains 20% wool. So the Caron cotton got tossed to the curb. I have a bag for tossing to the curb, so I can put that away. So then I went to the next thing that I brought, which, to the camper to do, which was Bernat Pop, which is 100% cotton. And it says it's a 4-weight, but it's a thick 4-weight. I mean, I could tell that going into it. It's thick. It's really kind of, I think I have 5 weights that aren't this thick. I don't know. But this is a popcorn blanket. And I'm going to tell you, the first at least 3 rounds that I read through are completely all done in popcorns. It's going to be a yarn eater for sure. This yarn recommends a 5mm hook. No way. So I went to it. I started with a 6mm hook, and it was just all, I did 2.5 of the first 3 rounds, and it was just like too tight. So then I went to my trusty brand new 7mm hook. Thank you, Miss Trisha from Mama Swift. She gifted me a wonderful Clover's 7mm hook, and I went to that and I started the project again. And I think it's going to be too puffy. And I just didn't like the way the popcorns were working, even with the 7mm hook. And I could have gone up from there, but I thought, you know what? I need to make 54 squares. I have that pop, and I have this pop, Bernat Pop. I did find one more upstairs. That I could have added, but I just didn't like the way the popcorns were like popping out. So I frogged it, rolled it up. I got this idea from Jo from Jo's Web. She takes, when she frogs, because she didn't like it, and winds it back up and sticks it in the middle of the cake. I'm like, I never saw anybody do that. That's a great idea. I love it. So that's what I did. So that's, and the other one that I was going to use in the You're Out of Here bag. And this is just a bag. I picked this up. I think I got this in Tennessee, but I'm not 100% sure. I've had it a while, and it makes a great project bag, but it's not working for, it's going to be a You're Out of Here bag right now. So then I decided, since the thick 4-weight wasn't working and I really wanted to use up some cakes, some cake yarns that I have that are like one-offs. I only have one of, which, I mean, there's things you can make with the one cake. They, you know, they have, I was going to say recipes. They have patterns on the side, you know, on the label, or, you know, on Lion Brand, or Yarns Inspirations, or whatever. They all have patterns for one skein. And so there are things you can make with those. As the longer I start collecting and hoarding yarn, the more I'm learning that you need to buy quantity, not just, oh, that one's pretty, let's get that one. But those are good too. I mean, you can use those for things too, but I'm getting, I don't want to say more selective, but, you know, thinking smarter. I want to get it on sale. There's no doubt about it. Hobby Lobby has their sale. I'm buying it. I don't care if it's one skein. I'm buying that stuff. That's cheap. You got to buy it. I've been saying for at least a year that I don't want to buy cakes anymore. I only want to buy solids, because I don't like the way they like cut off the color all the time, you know, like abruptly. And I find that I like make a project and I need solid colors for it. I don't know. But they're just so pretty. I can't pass them up. That's the problem. That's the problem in a nutshell. And some of them, I just really love the yarn. DK Colors, I totally love that yarn. It's so soft and it works up so beautiful. I totally love that yarn. The Sweet Rolls, that yarn is great. I hate the abrupt color change, but I love the yarn itself. So I still buy them because I can't. I'm a yarn addict. I can't help it. So anyway, I went back to the yarn room since we've been home to look at what am I going to do next. You know, what am I going to try now for this blanket? I wanted to get a good start on the popcorn blanket for the hashtag crochet calendar fun. I wanted to get a head start on it because the beginning of the month are all my other crochet alongs, and I like have to take a week off of everything else to do all of those. So I wanted to be like get a jump start. You need 54 squares for this blanket, and so I picked up this mandala in the colorway Wizard because I'm thinking, you know, I want the blanket to be boy or girl. And if they're flower, I mean, it's going to be like flowers, so it's probably going to go girl anyway. This is the colorway on it. Now, I looked specifically through, I'm sorry, I'm showing you the colorway and moving the whole thing. I looked specifically, now I know these are a 3-weight, which I think will be better for the popcorn part of this. That's why I was looking at the mandalas. But I thought that they might have wool in them. Now, I have mandala cakes that say they are 80% acrylic and 20% wool. And then I have mandala cakes that, like this one, are 100% acrylic. And here's all the stats, and I don't even have to read it to you. So I don't know. This one I also have. This colorway is called Pegasus. It looks like that. And this one, let me find where it says, right here, also says 100% acrylic. Now, I had a couple other that I was looking at that I might have had even 2 balls, okay, or 3, and I could, you know, I mean, it's no big deal to have all of them the same, but I kind of like the idea. They're all going to be different because the colors are going to end wherever they end. I'm just going to crochet the first 3 rows, and then you go to a white for that pattern. And so I'm doing the first 3 rows without stopping in the cake, and then I'm going to go to white. And I was going to use mainstay, but these are 3-weight. So I have this that's white, and it's a thinner white, but it was a mystery bag. I don't know where from even. But it's 100% acrylic, and it's white, and it's a thin white. So I'm going to say that looks more like a 3 than a 4 to me. it's very similar in size to these yarns, and I have a pound of those, so that's what I'm using to join them together. And I'm just a little nervous about making them, knowing that sometimes these say they're 20% wool. So my mother always used to say, when in doubt, don't do it. But then I'm going to refer to you guys. What do you think? I think they'll make really pretty centers to, you know, to the pattern. Like, so the yellow, orange, and green would be in these cakes. I might take the white out of this one, depending on where it falls, because this Pegasus has white in it. I might take the white out and use it on the white parts. I might just take it out and use it for doll clothes, because I don't know. We'll see what it looks. We'll see where it falls and what it looks like. But do you think, I mean, these ones, they specifically say acrylic. So what do you guys think? Should I use it or should I not use it? I really want to use it. I think it'll be pretty. I think they'll look nice. I think it's a girly pattern. So I really don't need to worry about boy colors anyway. But I just need an opinion. So let me know what you think. And that is what I did over the weekend. Mostly doll clothes and frogging. I did a lot of frogging. And we did a lot of stuff at the camper. So if you want to know about that, if you don't, shut me off a minute. I can't believe you're already here. It's been 20 minutes. We're still unpacking things and taking things. And my husband was going to make, he loves to cook out there. He loves cooking outside. And he was going to, I wanted barbecue ribs. I love ribs. I don't care how you cook them. I love ribs. Pork ribs. I bake them in the oven. They're good. He makes them in his, he's got these cast iron pots. Cook them on an open flame. Makes great ribs. He smokes them, makes great ribs. So he packed up his smoker. We don't have like a lock shed. He won't leave his smoker there because our shed that we have is plastic and it's not the sturdiest. And he's like, no, somebody will break in there and take my smoker. Nobody's going to break in there and take your smoker. I don't think. Maybe. You never know. Our camper butts up to somebody else's property, so people could get there if they wanted to. They go through the woods. So anyway, he brought the smoker and he had cleaned the shelves in it and left them in the house. So he baked the ribs on the grill, wrapped them in foil and some pepper. He had brined them. I don't know what all that means, but he soaked them in some stuff the night before. And they were fabulous. And fried potatoes, oh my goodness, so good. So he cooked and we put up lights outside. Not all of the lights, because there's like landscaping we want to do. We got a deck at the end of last summer, like the last weekend. And it's where we want it, but it's not completely level. There's high spots and low spots. Not real bad, but he can make it better. And so he wants to do that, and then we're going to need to like stain it all one color because we had some decking, then we bought decking. So we're putting all these pieces together, and so we'll power wash and then we'll stain, and then we're going to put lights around that. So we were testing out what we want to go where. And then we have some flower pots we're putting in, and we have bird feeders and a bird bath, and lights. I like lights. He likes feeding the birds. We want to attract hummingbirds. We have never been too successful at attracting hummingbirds. I have no idea why. We put out bird feeders and nobody comes. Hummingbird feeders. He gets all kinds of other birds, not at the hummingbird feeders, obviously. So we're going to plant flowers and put lights in the flowers, and we bought some lighted, solar lighted garden decorations to put in front of the planters that we haven't taken out there yet. well, so I can't put up all the lights because we haven't put up the planters, and we have, but it's too early. It's for here. It's way too early to be putting plants outside. Um, they'll freeze. They're still too much. Maybe in another week or two. Two. Around here, they tend to say don't plant outside until after Mother's Day. That's the rule of thumb from what I hear. I am not a gardener. I am not a flower planter. I love flowers. I don't do worms, so I don't do anything that worms go in. So fun fact about me, hate worms. I'll touch a snake. I'll hold a snake. I held an alligator. Don't get a worm near me. Can't. I just can't. So I don't do the planting in the yard. My husband does all the yard work. I do cut the grass once in a while. Not too often. He enjoys doing that stuff too. Mostly. He likes being outside. So anyway, that's enough to do about that. We will plant plants, and I will put, we're going to use like potting soil. So I'll plant in those. And we're going to use fun noodles. The pool things, have you guys... So last year we had some little potted plants, and we put them on the shepherd's hooks, and we put the hummingbird feeders on another hook right next door to like attract the hummingbirds. He ended up taking the hummingbird feeders down, even though we did get a couple. And then we had lights strung between the shepherd's hooks, and it looked cute. As far as the looks go, but we were not successful in getting the hummingbirds. So this year, and our plants kept, like, we're gone for a week. We're gone Monday through, we come Friday afternoon, leave Sunday afternoon. And so we had a real hard time keeping plants alive, because in the heat of the summer, if it hasn't rained, they're dying. And then you get there and you get them like rehydrated, and they're just starting to come back, and then we leave again. And so the plants didn't do well. But we had a neighbor who, they had a death in the family, and they have these big pots, tall, like, I don't know, 2 foot tall pots. And they had a death in the family, and the campers gathered together, and instead of sending flowers to the funeral home, they put plants in their pots. And the campers weren't able to be there because of COVID. They weren't able to be there very often last year. But those plants flourished all year. And nobody, like the first 2 weeks, somebody watered them. But then after that, they kind of just forgot about them. And those plants were gorgeous. They got big, and they were like overgrowing the pots like you want, like petunias and I don't know, whatever those plants are that do that. Impatiens, I think. And it was gorgeous. And I'm like, we can't keep one plant alive. Nobody's even there most of the time, and these plants are doing great. So we asked her. So she takes pool noodles, like that you use to float in the swimming pool with. You cut them up, you put them in the bottom of your planter, and then you plant. Then you put your dirt. Then you put your plant. All right, that's all. Just the pool noodles, and then the dirt, and then you plant your plants in. And the pool noodles keep enough water in it that it keeps the plants alive all year round. It keeps the ground moist. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's an awesome idea. So we bought big planters, and we bought pool noodles, and now we just need to wait for the plants. So there's more decorating to do at the camper before we get all the lights put up, because I like a lot of lights. My husband, he's afraid of it being too bright. It's like when it's nighttime, it's supposed to be dark. I'm like, yeah, but the lights look so pretty, don't you think? So we took, there's a couple of trees at the back of our campsite, and I took those little teeny fairy lights, and him and I together, because we went up a tree with fairy lights on 2 trees, and then we took another strand of multicolored but big plastic bulbs like this and hung them. I think they're a little high because we had to like stick it up in a tree, and I think I'm gonna make him bring those down. They can still go to that tree, but the problem is those lights are not solar. It's the only non-solar lights that we're using are those bulb ones, and they have to get plugged into the camper. So to go from the camper to the tree, you have to go around the grill gazebo. So he needs them up higher than the grill gazebo so he can cook for me and not get wet. And so we have a height issue going on here. So they're up a little high. I kind of want to bring them down. But we're going to wait and see how it goes after we get everything all situated. But we got to start to that. And so that's looking pretty cool. We were figuring where we want things and how we want things to go. We need some gravel to go under our golf cart, and then we're going to put up our 10x10. We have a, just one of those pop-up 10x10 things that we park our golf cart in. It's like our golf cart garage. And so we're going to, we didn't want to put that up yet because, again, it's early and you never know what kind of weather you're going to get right now. And the golf cart is designed to sit outside, so it'll survive for a weekend or two until we get the 10x10 up. But I want the gravel to go down before we put the 10x10 up, So there's that. And we're gonna, work on the deck. So I hope that's not going to be too difficult. The land is not completely flat, but we want the deck to be completely flat. So I'll be handing out beers. Here, have a beer, have a beer. I'm going to go sit in the camper and crochet because that's what I do while we're there, usually. But we had a good time, and I did get some crocheting in, and I did get some work in, and we did get some relaxation in as well. We had a campfire on Friday night, but it was raining and cold on Saturday. So we bought a smart TV. Our camper did not have a smart TV, and we don't have internet or cable out there. But there's that mobile hotspot thing everybody talks about. We don't know how to use it, but we were told, get a smart TV, and then you can, from your phone, use your Wi-Fi and like watch Netflix or whatever. This is our camper's a 2014. So this is the 6th year, I think, that we've been camping between the different places. And we've probably watched 4 hours of TV. So it's not that big of a deal. But when it's chilly and raining, it would be nice if you had TV. We can get some channels, just analytic, or whatever, over the air. But I don't know what channels they are. It said that our TV got 69 channels, and then my husband turned the antenna and it was 73, but I think like 60 were all the same station. I don't know. That's we did have our regular TV out there last, the one that came with the camper that's not smart TV. We've had that, and we've been able to get a few stations, and it would say there was a lot more stations than. It's like, okay, wait, we just saw that show for 5 stations in a row, so I don't know how that works. But like I said, we hardly ever watch TV out there anyway. But he does want to be able to get sports this year, so maybe if we could, I don't know how you do that. Whatever you do, that's what he maybe wants to do. So we bought the smart TV because we got it on sale cheap, and we thought we'd give it a shot. So wish us luck with that. But that was our project Saturday night, was hooking up the smart TV and trying to figure out how to make it smart. It's just as dumb as the other one. No Wi-Fi to make it smart, and we weren't smart enough to figure that crap out. So there you go. And now I've been going on for 35 minutes, and I'm going to let you go. Thanks for hanging out with me and my chitter chatter. Oh, real quick. So the rest of the day, I'm going to be working on yarn balls because I owe people a lot of yarn balls. So be patient with me in getting them out. I have 20 in process. I don't think I need to send out that many. But if I did, that would be fabulous. So as they are done, I will be sending them out to you. I think I have like 10 or 12 that I need to send out. So be patient. They will be coming. Let me turn this around. Don't mind the mess on the table. But I'll show you. Can you see? That's the start of some of them right there. They are gonna get foiled next. That's what this thing over here does, is help me put the foil so I can solder them together. So all, I think it's 20 or 25 balls that I've been working on are cut and ground, but none of the hooks are cut. So it's a slow process. I'm slow at it, but hopefully you'll like the finished product. So as I said, just be patient, keep your fingers crossed. I will get them out ASAP, and I will be working on them today and tomorrow, and no crocheting until late when I'm relaxing at later. Okay, that's all I have for you, honest to God. I'm going to push the button now, as Linda says. I'm just going to push the button. See you in the next video. Bye.